before you fall behind. Yeah. Before a breath beyond my death, you are with me on the way to everlasting.
Hello and welcome to a new series of daily devotionals. This week's series is called The Maker and the Maid. As some of you know, my wife Sophie is, amongst other things, an artist. Now I love Sophie, but I really don't like her artwork. I don't like it, I don't think it's very good, I often ridicule it. Now of course I don't do that, and I don't think that, and if I did, there is no way I would say it publicly, because I am not sure I could say that I love her, but hate what she has made. For those of you that are or have been parents, you may have experienced a young child bringing a piece of their artwork home from school that was essentially not very good. It may have been their best effort at the time. It may not have been, but again, even if you did think that it was not very good, you might not want to say that. And perhaps even if they produced something that was not great, because of who created the work, it could still take on a kind of preciousness to you and therefore still get stuck on the fridge. I believe that people are precious. Jesus said these words, "You have heard that it was said, 'Love your neighbour and hate your enemy.' But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous." I suspect that part of the reason why Jesus says this is that he is saying, in God's eyes, regardless of how messy or all over the place lives are, these people are in some way still precious to God. Now, I do not think that this means that we should not call people out for poor behaviour. I do not think that this means that we should let people walk all over us. I do not think that this means we should tolerate abuse. But I think that what Jesus teaches here and elsewhere is that we should treat people well, regardless of how they treat us. In Matthew's Gospel, we read these words, "In everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the law and the prophets." And so, as part of this, I think that I should do my best to speak well of people, regardless of how they speak about me. Not easy, but Jesus doesn't necessarily call people to easy. The word bless is a translation of the Greek word eulogete. Forgive me if my pronunciation is not correct. It means to speak well of, and it is from where we get our English word eulogy. Now, I've been to a few funerals in my time, and what you very rarely hear during a eulogy is that person was a bit of a git, even if they were. You wouldn't normally hear that. People tend to speak well of people at funerals. They highlight the best in people. They talk them up. They do not necessarily ignore all of the faults, but on the whole, they tend to talk positively about the person. We do that for the dead. I think Jesus called people to do that for the living. James, the brother of Jesus, in his letter to churches said this, "With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness." Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. So may God help us to speak well of what He has made and what He values.
You go before, you fall behind. Yeah. Before